Cooksy Mob, what's happening? Hey, I want to talk a little bit about there's something big on the horizon with the sport and merging together. Dylan Ferrandis, Ken Roxon. We'll get into all that and more. But first, I want to thank Complete Racing Solutions. You guys know Coach Rob. He's taking applications for his elite team right now. So hit him up and see if you want to get on his elite team. Epic Garage Designs. Man, if you want a badass garage, just check out epicgaragedesigns.com. Get yourself some slat wall, get yourself some racks, get something. Or if you're in the Las Vegas area, get blinds and shutters. And then Ride Strapped. I dropped the ball, guys. Ride Strapped wanted to keep giving out goggles. I totally spaced it. So I'm going to start giving away goggles to people who comment on the videos. If you make me think, if I like your comment, yeah, just hit me up. I'm going to start giving away goggles again randomly in the comments. So how do you enter? Make a comment. Precision Transport. Dude, if you need a trucking company, hit up Precision Transport. They're awesome. You got refrigerated trucks, you got big trucks, you got a pallet, whatever you need hauled, hit up Precision Transport. So, all right, guys, let's get into this.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
All right, guys, I'm going to start off by announcing young Alexander, who was 11 years old and lost his life in Florida racing. There is a ride day for him on Saturday, the 12th. If you can make it, show your support to the family, please do. And then Dane Molander, his family, man, this is so tragic. They were as a quad racer champion. I don't know a lot about quads, but this is just a gutting story. I want to send out my best to the entire family. Him, his mom, his sister, there's a bunch of them killed in a truck driver in a horrific accident. And my heart bleeds for him, man. So say a prayer for their family. And yeah, it just sucks. So, you know, whether you're racing a quad or a motorcycle, we're all racers. And this is all secondary to the big picture. But yeah, hurts me, guys. So anyway, sending my best to both those families. Now, let's get into a little bit of racing. It's kind of hard after that, but that's a tough transition. But anyway, this weekend, Unadilla, I'm so disappointed. Ken Roxon's not going to be out there. And I understand why. The resources are limited. And if you actually look ahead to the calendar, he's got 4 races in September, 3 SMX races and a World Supercross race. For a guy who likes to race probably every couple weeks, that's a lot. Does he want to add 2 races that he doesn't necessarily have to and probably go out there and get his ass kicked by Jet? Nah, let's just sit it out. Let's get ready for the SMX where actual money's paid and, you know, and it kind of matters, where Outdoor Nationals really doesn't. Dylan Ferrandis, guys, he still does not have a ride for next year. This is crazy. And it's down to the only information I could get about Dylan Ferrandis is it's going to be a green bike, a red bike, or a yellow bike. And that's literally the extent of the information that I was given. And yeah, they're just hoping for more. But it's crazy that a former champion who can still podium the 450 class can't find a ride. So anyway, and then something really huge. Right now, the series is about to merge. So at the end of the Super Motocross series, we're going to see Feld and MX Sports. Yes, they've been working together, but one is going to purchase out the other. We all kind of saw this coming. I didn't think it would be in 1 year, but it's coming. This could be good for the sport. This also gives a lot of control. Now, if the Coombs family or MX Sports has DMG buy Feld out of the Supercross series, which I'm expecting, that's going to give them so much power, and it's very, very scary for this sport. And this is a sport, might I add, that already doesn't pay the riders and has them lining up to compete. Now, why would they pay these guys? There's 90 guys that are allowed to sign up for a national, and they're turning people away. So, yeah, they're laughing at me by saying, pay these guys, they deserve more. They're like, well, why? We got a line of people waiting. And I kind of understand it, but I compare racers to Screen Actors Guild. It's one of those, it's something where people choose to do it because it's very satisfying and glorifying to be in movies, to be in shows. But since somebody's lining up to do it, necessarily it doesn't pay well. Well, the Screen Actors Guild got together, created a union, and they have minimums for these different actors. And right now, there's nothing like that protecting these guys. There's nothing like that protecting the riders. And they are, while people will say, oh, well, it's a free market, they can do whatever they want, they don't have to show up. Yeah, that's a really short-sighted way of thinking. They need a riders association. I don't see any way around ever getting these guys what they need. And when I say they need money, I don't necessarily need, they need specific money. They need a percentage of the overall take. That's it. So if there's no money being made off this series, then they shouldn't get any money. And if there's a whole bunch, they should get a whole bunch. A percentage. I'm not talking about money that's not there. And the series always says, oh, we're broke, we pay, we do everything we can. Well, if you guys do everything you can, I would love to see the negotiations between Feld and MX Sports on how much it would cost to buy the other one out. That'll give you a great idea of actually how much they're penciling out, if we could ever get that number. So if they sell this thing for $500 million, which is pretty reasonable, I could see them selling it for $500 million to MX Sports. What does that tell you about the value of this series and how much money is being raked in by these promoters? They're doing really well. They get their money and they get all the sponsorship money. They're doing well, but they're not returning any of it to the actual product because the product is lined up and they're like, well, why should we pay these people? We don't need to pay them. The manufacturer's got a platform to promote their brands, their teams, their riders. They're happy. Privateers are lined up out the door to get into this show. There's no reason. So unless you get a riders organization or some sort of competitive series, which if this merger happens, which I'm told it's about 99% sure it is happening, then this sport will be, there's no leverage. There's no leverage. No, it's going to be so strong. Another series won't really be able to come in and compete. It will just get squashed. It's definitely it's a power move, and wow, it's scary, but it's also from an entertainment aspect. The riders are going to get screwed, but yeah, they're putting together a pretty good entertainment package, and they're doing a pretty good job that way. So, I mean, I guess it's not all bad, but man, it's terrifying. So anyway, guys, also Ducati has been sniffing around. I hear they're out, they're getting ready. I don't know if they haven't signed any riders or made any announcements, but they're definitely going motocross racing. I'm not sure if it'll be next year, but they are coming, and they're, like I said, they made an offer to Webb, which he ended up going to Yamaha, but they are looking to do this thing for real. And that just goes to show you the entertainment value that is in motocross and supercross. You don't have to necessarily make your money off a dirt bike to need this space for attention. The ratings are good, the people watch it, people talk about it, they're diehards. You'll sell Ducati street bikes, Ducati dual sport bikes, just like Triumph. That's why they're entering this market, is because this is where you market your name and your brand. You don't have to necessarily market the bike that's being raced, even though that's kind of how this sport is sold, is buy a bike off the shop and go compete, which is cool. You can kind of still do that, and Time Masterful is proving that. But it's all about marketing, and there's a lot of eyeballs, and this series is, entertainment-wise, is doing pretty good. But it can always do better, and I just look at some of the things that it doesn't do, and it drives me crazy. And seeing this monopoly terrifies me. So anyway, guys, remember, subscribe and make those comments, and I'll be giving out some goggles, and get yourself some Let's Go Brandon, some We the People, and Chris is also making up some shirts, some Cooksey Media collab shirts with Strapped. We can send you some of those, but look for those in the near future. All right, guys, have a good weekend and watch for Unadilla.